Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for yet another daily dose of Dismal Disney. It's a lot of Dismal Disney today. Let's talk about Bob Iger. Geeky is going to lead this video. What's going on?
Okay, so Fortune put out this letter slash article, newsletter about Bob Iger and how he gave the Oscar-worthy performance. Why? Because he's acting at the last earnings call, how they feel bad they missed it because, it's the biggest, let's suck Bob Iger you could possibly get.
Whoa, the biggest. That sounds like a game show on
let's
Hulu.
Suck Bob. No, I'm just saying, it's complete, love fest for Iger.
Well, what the kids are calling it these days, what the kids are calling it is dick riding.
Sorry.
Yes, dick riding.
I think you go. Yes, basically,
that's
yes.
the term, yes.
And it's like they're all like going on about this, but literally, pretty much everything that they brought up at the meeting, they kind of it just feels like that when they knew they were getting in trouble, and they knew the activists were coming for them, the activist investors,
not their own employees,
no,
but
the investors,
yeah.
that they turned around and tried to spend the last couple of months trying to throw deals together to try to be like, oh, so we have something to present the boards, we don't lose our spot. Kind of like they did last year too, where we pulled out all the job cuts and all the cuts they were going to make to save money and all that to get Peltz to back off. It's like that again. The thing I'm saying as an investor is, why aren't they doing this all year? Why are they waiting until there's there's a potential threat of, takeover, a proxy war? Do they actually do anything? Like, just don't sit on your hands the rest of the year. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's like one time. This is kind of like doing a whole bunch of work before you have your performance review at work.
Right, you could have done the work the whole time.
Like, yeah, what have you done for the last quarter? Not much, but you worked a whole lot this week.
Basically, that's what it feels like. We're gonna lose our position. Hurry, fix it. So before we get into any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so you're going to lead this one. You're going to walk me through this dick riding letter about letter to Bob Iger.
I about fell out of my chair. And I got to say, and I made the joke on Twitter, and we're going to talk about what I said on Twitter. But all of the things Disney did, it reminded me, like, we're like, look, but don't forget this, but but there's more. Oh, but look over here. It reminded me of, if you've ever seen Zoolander, and they have the walk off between Hansel and Derek, and the only way Hansel can win is because he literally pulls his underwear out of his ass to beat him. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, oh my God, here comes Blackwell's and Tryon, and they have to pull their underwear out of their ass to defeat them. So,
Gonna get a hell of a wedgie.
I mean, not to mention the chafing. So here's their letter, okay?
Okay.
So they're talking about how I don't often listen to earnings calls because they're usually dull. Truth. Resuscitation of numbers that can be more easily digested in written form. Also true. But this Disney call was an exception. I wish I had been there. CEO Bob Iger gave an Oscar-worthy performance. Well, that means you're full of shit and you're acting. In the first 2 minutes of the call, before citing a single number, he announced, 1, Disney had hired ex-Alabama coach Nick Saban, a heartthrob of millions of middle-aged Southern men, to be an ESPN commentator. Mostly, who cares?
Roll Tide.
I'm like, mostly nobody cares. 2, the company's releasing in November a feature-length animated sequel to Moana, a global symbol of power of diversity. They're releasing a show that they had set up as a cartoon series to go to Disney Plus, but they're going to repurpose it as a film.
Yes, now they have to scramble to try to get Dwayne Johnson to reprise his role.
And what's their name played Moana too. Yeah. They don't have either one locked in because they had other voice actors because it was a cartoon series, which most likely means the animation was probably not theater-worthy animation either. Now that's not always the case, but it's usually the case.
It's usually the case. I mean, look at Megamind. Look at Megamind. Yeah. It looks awful.
They literally pulled this out of their ass. Yes. They literally. Oh God, what we gotta do? We gotta do something. Gotta give them something. We're gonna lose our spot. Gotta give them something. What we got going on? Oh, Moana. We got that one going.
We'll just make it a movie.
We'll just make it a movie and say that we're doing it because it was so popular on Disney Plus. They like Moana, right? We need some kind of win because they're gonna ask us about our shitty box office. And then the answer to that, to the box office questions, he's like, well, we're going to do less. We're going to do fewer movies that are better movies. And we got Star Wars coming and we got Marvel coming. And we're going to be, more picky about what we choose. But we're going to be doing lots of IP stuff like Frozen 3 and, Toy Story 5.
Mandalorian movie, which is probably Mandalorian season 4 as a movie.
Basically.
You know,
yes, exactly.
And that's what I'm sitting there thinking about. So was the Marvels, was that supposed to be Ms. Marvel season 2? And they just like repurposed it into a movie?
It was supposed to be Captain Marvel season 2, or Captain Marvel second movie, and then they just made it the Marvels.
Yeah.
So
like,
yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me. Like, what do we got? We got half written. Let's do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's number 2. 3, the company's investing in Epic Games, maker of Fortnite. The obsession of post-pubescent male children everywhere. But there's a lot of girls that play Fortnite, you sexist butthead. But beyond that, Epic Games, we talked about yesterday, had to pay out over $500 million in a settlement with the, was it Federal Trade Commission?
Yeah.
Over, the fact that they were doing like the different transactions that were questionable, tactics
gambling
employed.
For kids, basically.
Right. And they were also like putting kids at risk with the way they were setting up with this for like, strangers and stuff.
Oh, they were, Epic was accused of selling people's data before too.
Right. So, like, they're going to go Epic Games. Ha ha ha. We learned you because all the man children, literal. So wait, they're the focus of a lot of kids. And Iger kept talking about how he was going to push shopping to kids, which this article just says, hey, it's the obsession of all these kids that are apparently all male because, girls can never play games. That's, whatever. Sexist take. Anyway, 4, Disney will be the exclusive home for a new extended version of the movie Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour, celebrating a star who's been proven herself to have unmatched appeal for girls and surprising number of guys. Wait. So now with the boys, only boys like Fortnite and only girls like Taylor Swift.
Pretty much.
Well, the girls and boys can like Taylor Swift. Only boys can play games.
She likes a surprising number of guys.
Taylor Swift has been doing specials on Disney Plus for a while.
Yeah, she has.
And they're only doing this now because AMC and them teamed up with her to do the movie version, which made a lot of money while their movie, more money than their movies did in the box office. So they paid $75 million for the rights to put basically what was in the theaters, but with a little more content on Disney Plus after somebody else took the risk and proved it.
Mm.
And for Taylor Swift, they already have been putting specials up for Taylor Swift before.
Yeah, so this is basically, it's just like a blender of like what's popular now.
What do we have access to?
Yeah, what's trending today? Let's see, Fortnite's trending, and Moana was pretty popular, and Taylor Swift's always popular. Yeah, we'll just, all that. We'll do all that.
What can we get our hands on the next month or two to actually look like we're doing something?
Yeah, because I think they've been sleeping on their hands, sitting on their hands. I don't know where their hands have been, but they've been, sitting on their hands
for something with their hands. We don't want to know.
Couple of quarters, and now
there's a lot of dick riding though.
Peltz is. God, that's gonna be a title of the video. I'll just have to put a little asterisk there. I'm gonna put a little asterisk there, like ass and fuck and shit, and all those Disney videos that have swear words in them. Those naughty Disney videos do really well
because you're edgy.
Because the media's gonna ride Disney's dick.
Lord bullshit. Anyway, so they're talking about here. Okay, anyone we missed there? Yeah, you missed a lot of stuff, quite context. Add to the fact that Disney leads the industry with 20 nominations headed into the Oscars, which, by the way, would be broadcast on Disney's ABC network. Wait, you're leading the nominations on your own network? But here's the thing. They haven't won. And the nominations they have, except for one movie, and there aren't a lot of them. They're all usually, most of them are tied to Poor Things with 11, which wasn't even Disney. It was Searchlight, which they acquired.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird too, because that looked like the typical art house movie that they usually drop this time of year to get it in, for the Academy Awards. But yeah, it's definitely not a Disney movie.
No, but it got 11 of the nominations for other 20. Over half were for this one movie, which was Searchlight, which Disney acquired. Then we come down here, and then there's a 20th Century Studios with 2.
I heard that was actually pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. The creator, I heard, was actually pretty good.
But it's not Disney
It's
proper.
not a Disney.
And then the other ones are like National Geographic. The only thing they got for their animated was Elemental got 1 nomination for what?
Best animated feature film.
Best animation feature, okay. Then they got Flamin' Hot.
Searchlight Pictures.
Was that about the Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that's about?
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch that. It's
Yeah,
about Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
I'm
for
pretty
real?
sure. Yes.
I didn't know they had a movie about Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Yes, but where it came from.
Oh,
Guardians
okay.
of the Galaxy Volume 3 for Best Visual Effects. Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny for Best Geriatric Puppet. I mean, Best Music.
Oh, my God.
Best Music.
Oh, I love Harrison
The
Ford.
Last Repair Shop. Searchlight Pictures
Searchlight
again.
Pictures.
You know, Best Documentary Short Film. And then Disney Branded Television, Disney Plus, one nomination.
For a documentary? Is that what that is?
Apparently.
I don't
So here's the thing. Most of their stuff wasn't even their own Disney proper. It was stuff they've acquired.
I want to watch the Cheeto movie.
Oh, where have you been? That was out like last
I don't know.
year.
I don't get to watch TV. I just complain about shit all the time. I need
See,
to watch
I'm
it.
the one who's on top of this stuff.
Actually, there's so much not good stuff out there that I don't even want to watch Disney Plus. Like I can't remember the last time I've actually watched anything on Disney Plus. If I watch anything,
I
it's
don't watch Disney Plus either.
yeah. I'll watch HBO. I'll watch Netflix. I'll watch definitely anime. But
They're supposed to have K-drama on Disney Plus. I never actually go check. I should probably. I think my thought process is I go to do it, and then I'm like, I don't want to give Disney Plus hits. So anyway, then they're leading with 20 nominations that haven't been awarded. That's just nomination, and again, most of them weren't even Disney proper. There were things they acquired. And they said operating income is up 27%, adjusted earnings shares up 23%, streaming operating income is up 86%, and it held the $7.5 billion in cost savings for good measure. Except the cost savings they laid out a year ago.
Yeah.
Year ago, let me find the right thing here. A year ago, they're going to cut $5.5 billion, and that's what they did to get rid of Nelson Peltz last time. So they cut all that mostly by getting rid of jobs, and they ended up cutting more jobs than they said they were going to cut. $5.5 billion. They got rid of that last year. And it was supposed to be all done by the end of last fiscal year, but then apparently they cut more cents. Meanwhile,
to get rid of Peltz, I keep thinking this is like Sonic when he's underwater and he's drowning, and you hear the music. Yeah,
basically.
Get the bubble to
So
keep him
and
away.
then I brought this up, which wasn't even mentioned. They said there's 23.5 billion. The revenue is 23.5 billion, except it was a miss. It was supposed to be 23.8 billion. I know that's not a lot. I mean, it's pretty good actually. But I'm just saying they still missed revenue expectations, and then the streaming numbers missed. And then their streaming numbers, they said, it narrowed in streaming. It's like it went to 1.3 million loss as opposed to more they expected. But I also want to point out, which they don't mention this, was the fact that they had to give out massive deals for like $2 a month for Disney Plus to get people to subscribe, to get those numbers back up. They only lost 1.3 million, but how much would they have lost had they not done that? They also offered huge discounts on Disney park trips, hotel rooms, things like that, if you had Disney Plus subscription. So you had to subscribe to Disney Plus and be subscribed for a while to get these deals. When I get the time of your trip, you guys have to be subscribed. So people don't pay like the $10 a month to get hundreds off a room.
Mm.
So they did that to get people to subscribe to Disney Plus. So how much would their actual losses have been if they hadn't done things like that at a much lower, revenue share per customer? How much would they have been if they hadn't pulled that one out of their ass to try to offset their numbers?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being fair here. Now they did get this other stuff up. That's true.
Yeah, I just don't. I think long term though, it's like, okay, great, you're gonna dump a TV series in the theater, Moana 2. You're gonna, what I'm saying, and you're probably gonna want to blame more people off because this is the way it goes.
Here's my next thing: they cut $7.5 billion, but they still missed revenue by $300 million.
Yeah, I mean they're cutting all kinds of. Well, look, part of the reason they probably saved money is because of the strikes. They weren't producing anything.
That could be. You know what? Oh yeah, 2.2 billion more, probably a big hunk of it. That is a very good point.
Almost a year they were down. They weren't producing anything. So we have that. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was a conscious decision. They literally weren't producing anything. But then I'm also like, theme park situation's not looking too good because they're going to be dumping a bunch of money into reskins when Universal literally has like Nintendo coming next year.
Yeah, they don't mention any of that.
Yeah.
Or the fact that the box office failed or anything else like that. They don't mention that. They said the performance pushed Disney stock up more than 10% yesterday. It's already coming back down.
I think people are starting to digest it, and it all sounded good. And when they started to look at the smoke screen, they're like, wait a second. So Moana 2 is not actually a big theatrical movie. It was a TV show. You're repurposing it and dumping it in the theater. Okay. Mm-hmm. And long term for the parks, what do you got? Well, you didn't announce any big news for the theme parks, and Epic Universe opens next year. Okay, that's not looking too good. Where are your big? What's the next Marvel movie? Do we know? We don't know.
Well, they do know, but I'm just saying they just like next is Deadpool.
But that's not like an MCU movie. You know what I'm saying?
They have a list of release dates, so we do know. But I'm just saying, like, they're like, we're gonna refocus them. They said we're gonna focus Marvel on the things that work. So what's that mean?
The Daredevil movie. We'll just take the show and we'll turn it into
Daredevil. Yeah,
we'll make it a movie.
But then they're like, again about the stock, it's up some, but it still isn't where the levels it was before all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
The only person whose heart wasn't touched was Nelson Peltz and a bunch of other people that you forget to mention. The activist investor who's bidding to join the Disney board. It's deja vu all over again. A spokesman for Peltz Triumph Partners said, "We saw this movie last year and we didn't like the ending." That's true. They did the same. They tried the same crap last year.
Yeah, they did. It was razzle dazzle, and then the same thing happened. The stock went up a little bit. Like, oh, Disney's got a plan. That's why Peltz backed off. He thought Disney had a plan, and then as the year drags on, he's like, I'm not seeing.
Well, they were implementing this plan. All these things they were cheering for last year. And then the stock ended up hitting the lowest it had been in like over a decade. Mm-hmm. But they were implementing their plan. Anyway, sorry, Nelson, when it comes to telling stories, you can't beat Disney. At least as long as Iger's at the helm, except Iger's the one who put the company in the tailspin it's in.
I mean, this is some great, and this is from a guy who, let's see, what's his title at Fortune?
I don't know. Dick Ryder.
Alan Murray.
Dick Ryder.
Alan Murray at Fortune. Yeah. So this guy's like totally riding Bob's dick.
Sorry, quit saying that. It just makes me laugh. But
that's why I take 2 showers a day.
All I keep thinking of now, right? All I keep thinking of is this is when he was like, "Here, look, I put my underwear out. Woohoo!"
Pretty much, like it's all.
Peace. I win. I mean, I did it.
I got to tell you the truth. I think people are going to be razzle dazzled. I think that they might actually get a reprieve. I honestly think.
I think they will too. I really do.
I think people might just keep the board in because they. Well,
the new board just last minute agreed to give you higher dividends.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, come on. It's so clear they're trying to, I don't know.
If you vote me in as school president, I will give you candy for lunch every day. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it is, you know? Yeah, our school president in the 7th grade won because they got us a juice machine, I think. We couldn't get a soda machine. They promised a soda machine. But we settled for the juice machine.
We weren't allowed to have soda machines either. We had a juice machine also. We weren't allowed to have pop.
The juice machine, actually, the juice had more sugar in it than the soda did.
A lot of times that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
just found this article, letter, whatever the hell it was, very interesting because it's like, while you can say that's true, if you're looking at the entire picture, it's not exactly true. There's more to it than that. It's more nuanced than what they were saying.
I guess I'm like, look, Disney shareholders, if you vote to keep things as is, you're going to get more of the same that you've gotten for the last couple of years. There's going to be more box office failure, especially if they think they got rid of Peltz. They're just going to go back to doing what they were doing before.
Yeah, that's like as soon as it gets clear. And I'm concerned. I mean, they did say they weren't going to put as much stuff out and they were going to be more picky about what they choose. But then we also know that supposedly Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards. And I'm like, that's absolutely
not
stupid.
A good casting choice, in my opinion. I mean, that's coming up now because everybody's talking about how great it was they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. And that pretty much cemented the MCU as being iconic. And they're trying to compare Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic to that. And I'm like, no, I don't think so, but whatever.
He thinks he's Mr. Fantastic. That might be why they figure he's just, playing himself. So are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. Definitely going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.